Before I thought about the fact that I could potentially post a video, I had to think about two different things. And those two things were, how am I going to begin this video? And how am I going to get out everything that I feel that needs to be said and heard by many people? And now that I think about it, I really see that I don't need to say everything, because the general message of what I'm saying, most people already understand. And I'm not going to be able to say anything that's different than what anybody else has ever said, because I'm just human. And a lot of us think the same way. I wish I could be that type of person that changed people's lives, and I know that I won't be. But it's really important that, well, I feel that it's really important that what I think that some people really need to hear gets said. And I'm not seeing a lot of people saying anything. I'm seeing a lot of people, taking actions, which is good. Actions speak louder than words, but these actions aren't good. They aren't, good for the world. And actions speaking louder than words, I almost believe in it, but I don't, I guess. Because you can be a great person, but make bad choices and do bad actions. I'm sorry if you can hear the storm outside. Wow, that was loud. I'm in a shed right now, so. And I think that people who have an open mind often make bad decisions because they, they're open and they're down to try new things, which is fine. I'm very open-minded, but bad decisions are bad decisions, but that doesn't make you a bad person. And I do believe in karma, and that when you make a bad decision, it's going to come back to you. But I don't believe in karma to the point where when you make a good decision, it always comes back at you. Because you could be a great person your entire life, but your entire life, you could only be getting, bad things back. And a lot of things that happen to you depend on the choices that you make. And that's what karma's really about. It's not about the energy. It's not about anything. It's about really that choice that you make is going to bring something specific back to you. And it's going to be specific to the choice that you made. So I really kind of just the consequence almost. But karma, I guess. That's what I more believe in. But really, when I thought about it, before I made the video, I was thinking, okay, how am I supposed to just make a video talking? And how are people going to really watch this and understand it? And I know that really, nobody's going to watch this. I mean, there might be some people watching this, I don't know, but, I don't really think anybody's going to watch this and care what I have to say. Because what I have to say, a million other people probably have to say, just haven't said it yet. A million people have probably thought about what I have to say. I'm just getting nervous and not saying it right. So when you're thinking it in your head, it's obviously probably a lot better than the way I'm doing it right now. And I apologize for that. But when you think about people who have mental disorders or problems that are really big and having an effect on their lifestyle and the way that they are succeeding in doing things in life, you think about they need somebody to talk to. And really, when you think about it, for years, I went on end looking for somebody to talk to, a counselor, anybody to talk to and tell my problems. And I found that, and I talked, and I talked and talked and talked. And after I got out everything that I felt I needed to say, I still felt empty. And I didn't know what it was until I found out that I needed to listen to somebody else's problems. And that took me a lot of time to realize. I had to find somebody like me that felt and looked at Earth the same way I do, with an open mind and the same kind of head and mindset that I have. And I needed to listen to their problems and help them. And that was what helped me. And don't think of that wrong. Don't take somebody else's problems and make them into your own, because that's just setting yourself up for failure, because some people's problems are unfixable. some people's problems are their own selves and they just don't realize it. And you can't change a person. You can help them become their best self, but you cannot change a person. They're always going to be the way they are, no matter what you do. People change, but you don't change people, I guess. And that's okay. You can think that you're changing a person, but really they're just becoming their best self, which is great. That's like one of the best things you can do for somebody is help them become their best self. When two people meet that are both not doing well, that can go two ways. They can either build each other up and help each other to become better people and their best selves, and that's if they have an open and good mind and if they really think about things the right way. But if you are toxic and you are negative and you think about your problems in the worst way possible, then if you meet somebody who's doing the same way, then you're going to drag them down with you, and it's not going to it's not going to end well. And I did that with multiple different people in relationships and friendships, and none of them ended well. I'm not even in contact with any of those people anymore. And it took me a long time to realize some of those people I was talking to for years. I had a relationship that lasted, almost 2 years. I had a friendship that lasted 3 years that I just recently ended because I was just now realizing that they were toxic. And it wasn't that they were just now becoming toxic. It was that they used to be their best selves. And once they met the people that were toxic, they changed and they were no longer their best self. And I feel that one day they're going to hit the bottom once again, and they're going to realize that they need to, build themselves back up and cut out the negative people in their lives like I was doing and like I have done, and become a positive person. And really, how do I put this? I'm getting really nervous. I'm sorry. Hold on. A big thing that I've thought about for a long time is suicide. I used to do tons of research on numbers and people and everything, facts about suicide, because I just wanted to know everything about it, I guess. It was an interesting topic. Although it's one of the saddest things you can possibly think of, it was an interesting topic. I've read a lot of notes. I've read a lot of, everything. I've done a lot of research on suicide. And one thing I've noticed is that in suicide notes, they don't say everything on their mind. Most suicide notes aren't that long. Because really, people who really are at that point in their lives, they have where they're, positive people that are looking for a solution that's permanent, that aren't negative, toxic people and have looked and searched and just can't find anything. Those people, they're at their very rock bottom and they're good people, but they can't do anything about what's going on with them. And the reason why in suicide notes of positive, good people, why they aren't that long is because they have said everything that they can to somebody and to everybody that they could, that they trusted, and nobody listened to them. And that's the problem these days. They aren't listened to. And if those people were really listened to and they were helped the way that they needed to be, they would still be alive right now. But the toxic people, which is what I used to be, they're the ones who really, they are blaming the world around them. And the only person to blame, I guess it's not the only person to blame, but the main reason, this is going to start up so much controversy, but it's fine. The main reason you're in pain is because of yourself. And yes, the people and everything around you and your home life and everything, they have a big effect on that, a huge effect on that. But the way you interpret it and perceive it is how you're going to change your life. And if you perceive the way your life is going and your life isn't going that well and you perceive it in as a message saying that you need to change the way you are and you need to become motivated, then you're going to be a positive person. You're going to have, you're going to change your life for the better. But if you're going to sit here and say, my life sucks, but not do anything about it, then, it's going to suck forever. And I can't change that and you can't change that unless you try. Really, the main reason that people are dying right now because of their own selves are because of the people that, brought them down there. I used to be a lot different than I am. I went from being the quiet person to the loud, obnoxious person to the, bad kid that got into trouble to the open-minded person. And now where I am in life, I'm sure this isn't my last stop. And I'm sure I'm going to have a way more open mind as I get older. But right now, I'm proud of myself for knowing as much as I do compared to the other people my age. Many people don't want to be heard. They want to be listened to. And there's a huge difference between that. And I've already said that before, but there's a huge, huge difference. I'm trying not to repeat everything, but I'm really nervous right now, and I know I have a lot more to say, but like I said in the beginning of the video, I can't fit everything into one thing. And you guys really, as I say this, I hope that a lot of you can understand what I'm trying to say here, and that I hope you guys can accept that I'm not going to be able to do it perfectly. And there are some people that I feel are able to put take what's in their mind and put out in front of them so easily. And people like that really inspire me, and I look up to those kind of people. I'm not going to say any names of people. There's a lot of famous people out there, you could say, that have an open mind the way I do, but are able to put what's on their mind flat out there. And I can't do that. But a lot of those people are considered not good people because of their actions that they take. But really, those people are the best kind of people because of what they have to say and what, is going on in their head and in their life. And if you're able to take bad things going on in your life and turn it into a positive message for you and others, then you're going to grow up to be something. And that's great. Or maybe you already are something. Everybody is already something, but you can be more than what you are. You can be a better version of yourself, and I really do believe that. And I am just waiting for somebody to come along that has already found their best self. I've never met anybody at their, best. I've seen people at a pretty good position. I've seen people with great lives, but what they're missing is the open mind. And I've seen people with an open mind, but what they're missing is the great lives. And sometimes you can't change that. If you have a bad home life, you can't change much of that. You can change your attitude towards it, and you can change, where you stay, the obvious things. You can change a lot, but you can't change the way people treat you unless they're treating you a certain way because you treat them a certain way. If somebody treats you like you're a second choice or like you're not even a choice in general from the start, then, I wouldn't even bother with those kind of people. I'm sorry if it's getting quiet. It's starting to rain pretty hard. I'm trying to talk louder, but I just get nervous. But, if people are treating you like your second choice, then they're really the second choice. They should be your second choice. If people are treating you like you're not on the same level as them, then they're not on the same level as you. My dog just came in. Hold on. Hi, Barry Sanders. If somebody really thinks that you're not worth it, then they aren't worth it. I did a lot of looking into stuff, and I wrote down a lot of things that I heard from people that inspired me. And I have an entire page of just one person. You probably can't see it. Oh, there we go. of just what one person has said that has inspired me in just a 10-minute video, you know? And one thing that I heard from this person is that you don't want your life to be the structure of another person's dream. And that really hit me differently than anything that I've ever heard. You know, I've heard some pretty deep things that have hit me hard, but this hit me in a different way than those things have. Because most things that I hear, they're deep in a sad way, and it's like I can relate to it. But this is, you know, I can relate to it in a great way. I can think of, you know, I've seen people out there that I've looked up to and I've been inspired by, but what's about those people that I don't want is I don't want to be exactly like them. I want to be my own self. And their dream is going to be different than my dream. We could have the same, you know, basic things that we want to accomplish, but what we really look for is inside of our head, and we don't really tell people what we're looking for a long time unless we're very close to them. You might think you're telling people what you're looking for, but I don't think a lot of people know what they're looking for until they've already said it. I don't know what I'm looking for yet. I hope to find it soon. I have an idea of what I need, but I don't know what I want yet. And that's really hard for me to kind of, you know, be on the outside watching, because I can see myself, you know, getting bad at some points and being in a lot of pain and being hurt and watching people around me get hurt because of me being hurt. And once I really seen and thought about that, I realized that I'm not on the outside, you know, I am the outside. And we're all the outside, just looking in onto ourselves. And once you really connect with yourself and find yourself, that's when you're going to see what, you know, a lot of people see and what open-minded people see. I care about every single person on this planet. And I'm not saying that, like, I just have genuine care for people. I individually have love for every single person that I meet, even if I don't like them. You know, I've cried over strangers before. I've, you know, taken strangers' problems into my own jeopardy before. I've done a lot that I shouldn't have done. I mean, I've helped a lot of people doing what I did, but I've hurt my own self, and I pushed myself down to that toxic area that they were to help them. And what I really needed to do, rather than that, was send a positive message to them that I could send to myself as well and take my own advice. And I wasn't thinking about that before, because I was being specific to what they were going through. And when you really look back at it on the outside once again, problems, you know, they're a roadblock, but they're not the main thing. The main thing is the solution and how you handle it. And that's what's the outside. That is the main, you know, thing in life, is the solution. It's always going to be not the same, but, you know, the words of encouragement can be the same in solutions. Problems are all going to be different. Some people have the same problems. Some people have problems that are unfixable, it seems. Some people have problems that they have so much trouble, you know, temporarily dealing with that they permanently use a permanent solution, I guess. And I don't find that very okay. I think that suicide is a permanent solution to temporary problems. And if we take the action into ending our own lives because we are in so much pain, then we should have been more open and really thought about what we were doing. Because if you stop what you're doing in the moment and you look at it and you think of all the little things, that's when you realize that you're not doing the right thing right now. The second people I've heard, a lot of people that have attempted suicide and been really close to it. And most of them, have said the second that they tried it and they thought they were going to die, they regretted it. And I've seen a lot of people online say that too. I had a suicide attempt last October, and the second that, everything was getting blurry and I didn't know what was going on, I regretted it. I was like, this isn't it, I need to live. And that's when I think that whatever's out there up above, like watching down on me, sent my mom into the room and she found me. And, that was life-changing, If my mom and I didn't have the stupid argument that we had that day, she wouldn't have walked in my room and I wouldn't be alive right now. And to think about that is insane because, hold on, sorry. To think about that is insane because how one thing changed my entire life, and not the fact that I'm still alive right now, but my mindset. After that, I went to a hospital called Safe House for 10 days, and I've rethought everything since then, I've been put on and off meds since then, and now I'm not on any medications, and I'm happy without my medications. I can genuinely find my happy place without taking medications. I have my own resources, like, things that I enjoy doing. I have safety plans. I don't need something that's going to turn me into somebody that I'm not to be happy. I know that a lot of people think that, they can't be happy. And if you're thinking that, then you can't be happy. If you think that you're never going to be happy, you aren't ever going to be happy. But if you really think about it and you tell yourself, I'm going to have a good day today and I'm going to do everything that I can and not let anybody get in my way, then that's when you're going to, be happy. And there are always times where you're going to get into that spot where you don't feel okay. And it's okay to not feel okay, but it's not okay to give up. And it's when you give up, that's when it's really nothing is okay. You're going to be given a lot of chances. And I hope that a lot of the kids and just the people in general on this earth that are going through hard things are given the same chance that I was. I once read that somebody attempts suicide every 45 seconds. And I don't know when that was, researched. But since then, media has changed. Obviously, everything has changed. I read that probably 2 years ago. I've seen that fact since then, but it was still there 2 years ago. And thinking about that now, I wonder how much, that number is heightened. And what is the ratio between the people that are dying and the people that, are attempting to kill themselves, but, something helped them because they're a positive person. The toxic people are the people who don't often get a chance, but I was toxic when I got a chance, and I'm so glad, I'm I'm so thankful that I was given the chance that I was, as well as my dad was given that chance. A lot of people I know were given, that option. And usually there isn't an option. Or at least you don't think there is. But, the main thing is once you're dead, you're dead. And there might be a heaven, and you might, be reincarnated or anything, whatever you believe, but you're not going to restart your same life. There's no way you can do that because once you die, everything keeps going. And that's what a lot of people don't think about when they're trying to end their lives. They don't think about the fact that everything's going to keep going after you die, and you're going to miss out on amazing things. And everything that's going to keep going on, those people that, that found you important, they're going to live on without you, and they're going to regret everything. And they're going to want to go back and wish they had said something else, or change what they had said, or done something differently and felt like it was their fault. And I don't know how I'm saying all this without even really thinking about what's coming out of my mouth, but I really do feel that I'm saying everything that I need to say to make people understand. And I'm really happy about that. And depending on how this video goes, I might keep going. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm going to end this there because I've gotten everything that I need to say out of my mouth. And I hope that you guys perceive this message and understand it to the point that, you feel understood and like there's somebody there for you. So yeah, that's all. Bye.